Hello students, today we will read sonnet number 55 of William Shakespeare, not marble nor the gilded monuments. So let's start the poem. Not marble, not the gilded monuments of princes shall outlive this powerful time, but you shall shine more bright in these contents than unswept stone, besmeared with sluttish time. Very fine lines. So, not marble, nor the gilded monuments. So, Shakespeare makes in these lines, Shakespeare makes a very confident claim about the power and immortality of poetry. So, he says, not marble. Not marble, he is referring to the marble statues and monuments that are made to preserve the memory of important and powerful people. So marble is a strong and expensive stone, and kings and princes often used it to build beautiful statues and memorials for themselves. So similarly, gilded monuments refers to the grand monuments decorated or covered with gold. So the word gilded means covered with a thin layer of gold. These magnificent monuments of marble or of gold represent the wealth, power, and glory of kings and princes. So here Shakespeare makes a very interesting comparison. He says that even these magnificent marble and golden monuments will not live forever. They may look permanent and powerful, but they are still physical objects, and therefore they are subject to time, decay, neglect, war, and destruction. So with the passage of time, they may become damaged, broken, dirty, or completely disappear. So these statues of marble or the monuments of gold is of whom? Of princes shall outlive this powerful rhyme. Shall outlive this powerful rhyme. This powerful rhyme means the poem that Shakespeare is writing, means this sonnet 55. So the poet claims that his poem will outlive or survive longer than the marble statues and gilded monuments of kings and princes. A king may build a huge monument to make his name immortal, but the monument may eventually disappear. Shakespeare's poem, however, will continue to be read by generation after generation. So, a poet believes that poetry has greater power than physical monuments. And here he says, but you shall shine more bright in these contents. In these contents mean in this poem, in this sonnet. So, shine means चमकना, बहुत ज़्यादा प्रसिद्ध होना. So here he says that Shakespeare here you, whom does he refers to? So he is referring to a fair youth, the person whom he is addressing in this sonnet. So you shall shine more bright. Shine means chamakna. So the poet does not mean here that the young man will physically shine like a star. So shine means to remain beautiful, famous, glorious, and remembered. So you will, what is the meaning? That you will remain brighter and more glorious through the words of my poem than you could ever remain through a physical monument. So in these contents means the contents or words of this sonnet. So your beauty, your memory will continue to shine through the words that I am writing in this poem. So here he is telling us the power of poetry. Next, then here is a comparison. Unswept stone. अनस्वेप्ट का मतलब होता है जिसे साफ नहीं किया गया काफ़ी टाइम से, स्टोन पत्थर, और द स्टैचूज मेड ऑफ स्टोन। besmeared मीन्स गंदगी से भरा हुआ मेला, विद स्लटिश टाइम, स्लटिश मतलब गंदा, टाइम का मतलब तो आप जानते ही हो। So then unswept stone besmeared with sluttish time. Now Shakespeare gives us a vivid picture of what will happen to those beautiful monuments of which we are talking about. So unswept stone means a stone monument that has been left unattended and has been cleaned. So imagine that a beautiful marble statue standing outside for hundreds of years. Nobody takes care of it. Dust settles on it, dirt covers it, rain and weather damage it, and gradually its original beauty disappears. है ना? So this is the picture Shakespeare creates here. And besmeared means covered or stained with dirt. And these marble monuments of about which he is talking, which was once beautiful and magnificent, they eventually becomes dirty, stained or neglected. And sluttish का मतलब होता है dirty, untidy or careless. So Shakespeare here personifies time and describes it as something dirty and careless that allows beautiful monuments to become stained. सो डिस्ट्रक्टिव स्लटिश टाइम का मतलब है कि डिस्ट्रक्टिव पैसेज ऑफ टाइम दैट कवर्स ब्यूटीफुल मॉन्यूमेंट्स विद डर्ट, डीके एंड निग्लेक्ट. सो टाइम here he imagines time as an enemy that gradually destroys physical beauty. So now the next stanza or the quatrain. When wasteful war shall statues overturn, and broils root out the work of machinery, nor Mars his sword, nor war's quick fire shall burn the living record of your memory. So, wasteful war means useless, destructive war that cause ruin and loss. कोई भी युद्ध होगा तो किसी को भी उस युद्ध से फ़ायदा नहीं होना है, सब कुछ बर्बाद हो जाता है. मार्स इज़ द रोमन गॉड ऑफ वॉर. सॉर्ड का मतलब आप जानते ही हो, है ना. सो what is this Shakespeare here telling us? That he continues to his argument about the destructive power of war and the temporary nature of physical monuments. He says wasteful war. He means destructive war that cause enormous destruction and loss. When wasteful war shall statues overturn, it means that when destructive wars take place, they will knock down and destroy the statues and monuments that people have built to preserve the memory of great kings, princes, and loved ones. And then he says, and broils root out the work of missionary. So here broils का मतलब क्या है? War, conflicts, violent disturbances. And missionary means the work of constructing buildings and monuments with stone, brick or mortar. So the work of missionary refers to the beautiful and magnificent stone structure monument that have been carefully built in someone's memory. Root out का मतलब होता है जड़ से ख़त्म कर देना, to destroy completely, even from its foundation. So here what he is saying, that when destructive wars knock down statues and violent conflicts completely destroy the beautiful monuments built in someone's memory, even the physical memorials will not be able to survive. So here he says कि झगड़े पत्थर के काम को जड़ से ख़त्म कर देंगे. कभी भी कोई वॉर होगा तो उस वॉर में जितने भी मॉन्यूमेंट्स हैं, स्टैचूज़ हैं, दे विल बी डिस्ट्रॉयड. जैसा कि हमने हिस्ट्री में कई बार पढ़ा है कि कितने ही जो हैं मंदिर उखाड़ दिए गए, मूर्तियाँ, मॉन्यूमेंट्स, स्टैचूज़ जो हैं उनको है ना जड़ से ख़त्म कर दिया गया. सो यही बात यहाँ पर हो रही है. आगे हम पढ़ते हैं. नॉर मार्स इज सॉर्ड नॉर वॉर्स क्विक फायर शेल बर्न. सो मार्स इज द रोमन गॉड ऑफ वॉर है, एंड sword तो आप जानते ही हो, and war's quick fire means the fast spreading fierce fire of war, the flames that destroy cities, buildings and monuments. So neither the sword of Mars nor the destructive fire of war will be able to destroy something. And what is something? What it will not be able to destroy? The living record of your memory. So here your means it he refers to the fair youth whom he is addressing this poem, and living record means the record that remains alive and continues to exist in the form of this poem or this sonnet. So war can destroy statues, buildings and monuments, but it cannot destroy the memory of the beloved preserved in this poem. It will remain forever in the memory of people in the generations to come. They will read it, and so you can understand. देखो, war is very destructive, है ना? So we can understand this idea even in the context of modern war. You have seen the recent Israel or Iran conflict military attacks, caused destruction to buildings and other physical structures. So this shows us that war can damage or completely destroy things made of stone, concrete or steel. But if a poet, writer, artist has already preserved someone's story, as Shakespeare has preserved his beloved's memory through this sonnet, so literature literature has this power, but war cannot easily erase that literary record. That physical building may disappear, but the memory preserved in words can continue to reach future generation. So this was the idea. Against death and all oblivious enmity shall you pass forth, your praise shall still find room, even in the eyes of all posterity that wear this world out to the ending doom. Against, here it is a shortened form of the against. Death. So Shakespeare here says that his poem will stand against death and all oblivious enmity. And all oblivious means forgetting everything. The power of time and death that make people and events eventually disappear from human memory. जब कोई मतलब मर जाता है तो क्या होता है कि टाइम के साथ में हम उसे भुला देते हैं. And enmity means hatred, hostility or opposition. So Shakespeare is personifying these destructive forces as enemies. So the beloved's memory will survive even against death and the forces that try to make people forget. कोई भी उसे जो है मतलब मृत्यु हो, चाहे डेथ हो, चाहे कोई शत्रुता हो, सब कुछ भुला देती है. लेकिन you will remain forever through this poem, through this sonnet. Shall you pace forth? Your praise shall still find room. Pace forth means to move forward or continue to exist. So here Shakespeare tells the beloved that you will continue to move forward through time because my poem will keep your praise alive. So room means space, and but here it means a place in people's heart, mind and memories. So even when centuries pass, there will always be room for beloved's praise in human memory, even in the eyes of all posterity. So posterity means future generation, people who will live after us. So Shakespeare says that even people who are not yet born will know and appreciate the beloved. So we can understand this situation like Shakespeare belonged. So think about this situation that Shakespeare belonged to the Elizabethan age and wrote this sonnet more than 400 years ago, and yet we are sitting today in the 21st century reading and discussing this poem. So this proves Shakespeare's argument. He is saying that future generation will continue to know and appreciate the beloved through this poem. You can understand the power of poetry. Even though the physical monuments of his time may have been damaged, neglected or completely disappeared. So Students, Shakespeare was writing for the future. He knew that statues and monuments are physical things and can thus be destroyed by war, weather, and time. But a poem can travel from one generation to other. And look at us, we are ourselves, the posterity Shakespeare was talking about. More than 4 centuries later, we are still reading his words. So, this is the power of eternal praise, power of poetry. Now, this is the final stanza or the couplet of the sonnet. Till the judgment that yourself arise. So, judgment refers to the judgment day or the last judgment in Christian belief, the final day when the date will rise and humanity will be judged by God. Yourself arise means you yourself will rise from death on that final day. So, Shakespeare here says that you will remain alive in my poetry until the day when you yourself rise again at the last judgment. So, notice the powerful claim he is claiming through this poem. Shakespeare said that the beloved would survive war, time, death, and destruction of the world. Now he takes the idea to the ultimate point until judgment day itself. So, तुम मेरी क्या कहना चाह रहे हैं कि तुम मेरी कविता में तब तक जीवित रहोगे जब तक कि लास्ट जजमेंट के दिन तक, और जब तक तुम खुद पुनः मृत्यु से उठकर पुनः जीवित नहीं हो जाओगे. यू लिव इन दिस एंड ड्वेल इन द वर्साई. सो हाउ his beloved will remain alive? This refers to the poem itself. In this means it is referring to the poem or the sonnet itself. मतलब the beloved will live in this, यानी इस कविता में जीवित रहेगा. Dwell in lovers eye means that future lovers and readers will see and appreciate the beloved through Shakespeare's poetry as we are appreciating his beloved or his friend through this sonnet in the 21st century. So, the beloved will have two kinds of immortality in the poem. So, literary immortality and in lover's eyes. It means symbolize emotional, cultural immortality. So, here we can say that Shakespeare concludes by saying that beloved will remain immortal in this poem until the last judgment, as long as people read poetry, appreciate beauty, and experience love, and the beloved will continue to live in their eyes and heart. So, this was the poem, and it was a very beautiful sonnet written by Shakespeare. Thank you for listening and watching the poem. So, meet you soon in next sonnet.